Today at ETInfra's Finance Summit, we are privileged to be joined by Ms. Monika Kalia, Deputy Managing Director and CFO at NaBFID. Ma'am, really appreciate you joining us today at ETInfra's Finance Summit. My first question would be around that NaBFID, now is sort of, looking at financing the infrastructure landscape. Lot of investments had already gone into major projects related to whether it's a road sector or the airports and also the ports and shipping. But in terms of building up our cities, the urban investment or urban infrastructure investment is now one of the focus areas. Where does NaBFID stand on that?
So I just I'd say from the NAFID perspective, what we are looking at is we see 60% of the investment which is going to go into the infrastructure sector, that is going into the urban infra going forward. We are already actively engaged through our transaction advisory services in development of the Amravati city which is coming up. Similarly, we are also in touch with other centers. So, what we are essentially doing with these state governments or the urban local bodies is that we are providing them end-to-end services from creation of a DPR, selection of the bidder, and then actually helping them secure the funding. And this is one way in which we are trying to build the capability of the municipal corporations to actually give more and more products or the bankable projects to the infrastructure sector. Second thing what we are looking at, we are actively engaged with the MAUA and the DFS on how this urban challenge fund can be used. Third thing what we are talking about is do we need a, state level agency, because these municipal corporations or the urban local bodies are too many to deal with for any infrastructure financer, because their needs are small. So the projects becomes too much, whether we can pool this so that it becomes easy for the bankers and the lenders to deal with them, or we create a state level nodal agency, not create nothing new to be created, or designated something which is already available at the state level, which can act as, for example, NHI is a nodal agency for anything and everything related to the road. So can something like this come up at the state level so that it becomes easier for lenders to deal with and not to go to the multiple decision makers just to make one project viable. So these are few things which we are actively engaging with the state governments and the central.
Ma'am, one more question. Recently, we have heard that the policymakers, be it Delhi and the other states, are deliberating on creating multi-sectoral InvITs. We are very familiar with one sectoral InvITs, be it the roads or the power transmission. Your opinion, a multi-sectoral InvITs, maybe it's for the medium and the long term, but what are the potential and challenges with such sort of a framework?
So I would say not medium or the long term. I'll say it is very short term. Rajmarg, which has already been floated by NHI, that has been floated as a multi-sector. So while they'll be starting with the road sector, I think their IPO is already on right now. So they'll be starting with the road, but their constitution very clearly says they can go into the multi-sector. So when we say I think diversification of risk, which is always very good for the investors. Investors do love that diversification of the risk. So if there are sector, so primarily what we are seeing, largely it is coming in the renewable and not even in the renewable, it is in the transmission and the road sector. So they are more stabilized, but slowly and surely we need to bring more sectors into it, because what it talks about is that the stability of the cash flows and the valuations. So the more stable the environment is, the more secure is the investment. I think efforts to bring in more sectors to the InvITs is a right step to look at. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much, ma'am. I really appreciate it.